¿Qué pasa? Welcome back to another solo leveling video on my channel, guys. Today we're gonna be talking about Jinchul, and he is, I must say, the weirdest SSR character we have, because his damage output, generally speaking, is amongst the lowest of all SSR units. However, he definitely makes up for it with a lot of mobility, because he is the fastest character, which is focused or specially designed for dodging. So here is the review. We're going to be covering everything from best artifact sets, best weapons, main stats and substats which you should be choosing for him, his skill level priority, and the best teams for him. So without further ado, let's jump into this. Now, in terms of artifacts, yeah, he's somewhat in a predicament because he's designed to be a dodger slash mobility type of unit. It's definitely difficult finding a perfect set for him because he's not designed to be a breaker and he's not really designed to be a damage dealer either, right? And since his entire kit scales of defense, it's very hard. However, the best go-to set for him generally is either the solid analysis set, which I have equipped, which gives you a 2-set effect of the damage dealt to enemies in the break set increases by 15%, and the 4-piece, which is when attacking the weakness attribute, increases break effect by 30%. Now, the other two go-to set would be the solid foundation, because this one increases the basic attack damage by 18% and increases the core damage by 18% when attack hits, charges core gauge by 60. So those are the two options. In terms of the jewelry set, the go-to one is the executioner because of the 2-set effect, which increases the uses damage by 8% when attacking enemies with 40% HP or less, and the 4-piece effect changes the HP condition to 70% and increases the damage by 20%. Another alternative would be the Berserker set, because this one, when the user has 50% HP or less, their damage dealt increases by 15%. But the general premise around this Berserker set is that he takes damage, but he is designed to be a very fast mobility type of SSR unit, which dishes damage, gets off field again, and comes on field here and there. So running a set like that would be kind of difficult. Let's talk about his weapons, because his main weapon on a different level, which is his signature weapon, this one basically, the user's attack ignore 2% of the target's defense, right? When the mediation of power is used, increases the damage dealt to the target by 5% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. That is basically his main his signature kind of weapon. This one is, in my case, the go-to weapon. However, there are other alternatives depending on your playstyle, right? Generally speaking, the steel dagger is the best go-to weapon in terms of SR weapons, or the steel longsword, because this one favors his elemental weakness damage increase by a specific percentage, right? So generally speaking, those are the 3 best weapons you want to be going with him. Now, in terms of skill level priority, this one is difficult because it depends how you want to play him. If his main role is supposed to be a fast, agile breaker, go for his basic skills and his support skills. Those are the main ones you want to be going for, right? And the QTE skill, if anything, right? Those 4 skills. Now, if you run him to run as a fast, agile sub-damage dealer, putting his break effect aside, you want to increase his basic attacks in the first place, right? And his ultimate, because those are the main things you want to be focusing on. But generally speaking, if you want to run him as a breaker, his basic skills, his core attack, and his support skill are the go-to skills you want to be focusing on. Now, in terms of main stats and substats you want to be choosing from, since his entire kit revolves around or scales of his defense, you want to be always increasing his defense first. Hence, you want to go with defense for his helmet as the main, defense penetration on his boots because of his attacks favoring the defense penetration. His bracelet, you would definitely want to go with an increase of wind damage, and for the ring, go with another set of defense increase. That is the way to build him. As for substats, you definitely want to run defense penetration, and wind damage. Don't focus on anything else. Those are the go-to substats and main stats for him. Now, in terms of teams, there is a couple of teams you can actually run him, right? You could either choose to go with a semi-optimal meta team, which consists of Min, Cha, and then Wu Jinchul as sort of the breaker or the sub DPS, depending on what role you want him to play in the team, right? You could also opt in to go for a fully maxed out wind kind of team, right? So you want to run the Park Heijin as your, yeah, let's say sub DPS slash main DPS, and then you want to be running the Park Beyond Shik. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing the name right. You could either run him or you could run Kim Sang-shik, because he is definitely a useful buffer slash tank of the team, right? Those are some team compositions you could be running to. If you want to run like a hybrid sort of purely break focused team, you definitely want to run Bake first. You want to run Siu Jin Woo, and then you want to run as a sub DPS slash breaker. You could be running Wu Jinchul. A team like this would literally break damage every single time, because this team is designed to be purely breaking. So yeah, guys, there you have it, Wu Jinchul. Now, some final thoughts. He's one of the characters probably everyone has him, because Netmarble actually gave everyone a free copy of him after logging in the game 7 days in a row. So if you logged in 7 days in a row, you will have him free, and you will also have on the 14th day of your login, you will have his signature weapon also free. So that's why probably most people will have him. So all in all, it makes him actually very good, since he's actually the only free SSR unit we essentially have gotten so far. It makes him the best free SSR unit in the game, because it's the only one. Time will tell how the game will evolve in future. If we may get a few more different free SSR units in future, that will definitely be one thing to looking out for. As of currently now, he's the best free to play SSR unit in the entire game, and yeah, definitely in somewhat a very useful character, and again, the fastest and most mobile agile unit in the game. As always, thanks for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. Until next time.